This may or may not turn into a decent YouTube video, I'm not sure.
Not with me in it, brother.
So today we're building you a PC, huh?
We are attempting
Attempting.
to replace my current PC with a better gaming PC.
So
Using the knowledge of Scott Murray.
well, I built my PC this way, so we'll see how yours turns out.
I mean, most of my friends have built it using PCpartpicker.
Yeah, I think that's
just the compatibility and everything is just huge. There's no mess ups.
Yeah, I think that's the way
to blame it on them.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
So when you get to PCpartpicker, you go to System Builder.
Yes, I have started a new build.
All right, so you should be able to see my screen so you can follow along.
Yep.
What is your budget for everything we're going for here?
All right, so I want to throw a monitor on this build as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because you said I'm going to be gaming at a higher speed, so
yeah,
we get something to match that. I want to make sure I have enough video ports. Budget overall is probably 16 with a monitor and an operating system.
1600.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it. All right.
Oh, I thought that was a bad ooh.
No, that's a. I'm jealous of you. Ooh.
Oh, don't be. I have to spend it.
Yeah, but you get to use it when you get it.
That's true.
So I think our CPU you're gonna go for is the AMD Ryzen 5 3600.
Okay, currently have a Core i7.
You have a Core i7?
Yes.
You can. Do you want an Intel or AMD build? Because AMD is kind of ahead. They're not ahead, but like price per power, especially for gaming, I would go with Ryzen.
Okay, I'm not familiar. Like.
Okay, that's what I use.
The first build I did was an Alienware order. So,
oh gosh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't have to build anything. It came ready to go for it.
So in my computer, I have a Ryzen 5 2600, and it's great. And they've made a big step up with the next gen of a 3600.
Right.
So I don't
Going
think
from what 2.5 to 3.6 gigs.
I'm not entirely sure what mine's at. If you want to spend more money, you can go for the Ryzen 7, 3700. But let's see if we have space for that when we get to it. So I think we'll go with 3600. I would definitely recommend getting a CPU cooler.
Okay.
This first
last time we had the Cooler Master Hyper 212.
Yeah, this is what I use. It's the same thing as the one above it, but you get RGB for $5. So
right.
if you have a see-through panel, I mean, it looks cool. I like it.
Yeah.
So we'll go with that. Motherboard.
Now what is it? The CPU cooler. What is that? I mean, I'm gonna have what, 6 fans in this friggin' thing?
Yeah. So this one attaches directly to the CPU that's on your motherboard, basically. When you buy a CPU, normally it comes with a stock cooler. But that fan and cooling radiator is much smaller and you'll hit higher temperatures, which in the end usually will just decrease your lifespan of your CPU.
Right. Okay.
So this is where things got tricky for me last time. My motherboard is a B450 type, but since you're building this from scratch, you're going to need something more modern than a B450. Because you would have to update the BIOS for it to accept the newer generation of CPU.
Right.
So I can't remember exactly what it was called, but I think it was.
I think we were looking at the MSI X570.
570 was the one we were looking at.
I want to say it was the 570.
That sounds right.
Or right. No, you know what? It was the 570 Edge with the Wi-Fi. I think you had on there.
Yeah, but the chipset is the X570.
Right.
Okay, do you want a computer with Wi-Fi or not? Or are you going to be hardwired in?
I'm going to be hardwired in. I don't see myself. I'm going to still have this Alienware laptop if I need to go anywhere.
Yeah. I just have Wi-Fi in my build because if I ever go somewhere that I don't have access to Ethernet, then I'm set. But that's if you think you're ever going to go somewhere and bring your computer.
I just don't think so. That's why I'm getting a desktop. You know, I'm away from the mobile application. So.
All right.
But I mean, what's the price difference between going from a?
It's about 20. 20,
30
20,
bucks.
20, 30 bucks.
Yeah.
So you can, if you really need to, we did this for Victoria. We bought her a Wi-Fi card that she could stick into her computer, and it was like 20, 30 bucks.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, as
so
long as I
it
can
equals
add on
out
later, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go with this MSI MPG X570 Gaming Plus.
Yeah, that looks like a good choice. And I like PC Part Picker. It has ratings. And when you add it to your cart, it always pulls from the lowest price on the internet that it can find. So I can actually click I can click on this and see different deals. So Amazon Prime, it's actually currently out of stock, but you can get it from Best Buy. But it's actually got free shipping from Best Buy. So
yeah, so why not?
So we'll go back and we'll add that in. All right, memory. This is your RAM you're going to be looking at. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't entirely know 100% RAM speeds and all of that. I know that in this like right modern day,
I've got 16 gigs of physical RAM.
Yeah, if you're building a PC, you want at least 16 now. You'll see a lot of pre-builds now that just have 8 gigabytes of RAM in it, and like it won't even be enough to run some games. They'll kind of stutter on you.
So these are 8 gig modules. It's just 2 of them. Basically.
Yeah. I mean, something like these first 2, I think, would be a great idea.
I see that they look like the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same speed, same pin.
So this one at the top is DDR4 3000, and this one is DDR4 3200.
And it's less money.
So I'm not entirely sure which one's faster, if I'm being honest with you.
Right. No, I hear you.
If this one was faster and newer, I don't think it would be cheaper.
You wouldn't think so, unless
like that doesn't make any. I'm gonna
give me a quick Google on that. Did you Google that for me?
I'm gonna learn this. RAM speed, generally megahertz. Clock speed. What is a good speed for RAM? All right, we'll go with the cheaper one. I think higher number sounds better. I'm probably gonna get torn apart in the YouTube comments on this one, but we'll see.
Higher number is always better unless you're playing golf, Scott.
Yeah, seriously. So far we've got no compatibility issues. Storage.
Okay, so here's where I wanted to pick your brain a little bit here.
Yep.
We initially had this Western Digital Caviar Blue, 1 terabyte, 7200 RPM, 64 meg.
Yep, so that would just be like a storage drive, essentially.
Right, so that would be like, right now I've got my C drive is my solid state, my D drive is my data drive, that holds all my games and everything, which is a 1 terabyte.
Oh, so you already oh wait. No, you can't take those out of your laptop. I'm sorry. I forget you're on a laptop.
Mobile editions. I looked into that.
Yeah.
Can I disassemble this and put it into a tower? So I looked at that one. It's what am I looking at? I mean, it's got all the same specs, but I'm looking at this 2 terabyte that is $5 more. Seagate Barracuda Compute top.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I go with that?
Yeah, I think
56 megabyte instead of 64.
Yeah, if you want to have a good big storage drive, I think we should do that.
That's what I'm looking for. Then I can kind of skimp on the solid state a little bit. I won't need a full terabyte in a solid state if I can get 2 on my storage.
You say that, but until you start loading games up in solid state drives, it's a big difference.
So I'm gonna want 500 gigs solid state minimum.
Minimum, yeah. Okay. You can also do an M.2 SSD, which are even faster than a normal solid state drive. They just cost more. Do you want to see? We'll go from here, but let's try the Samsung 970 Evo terabyte SSD for 180, and we'll see what our budget if we need to go down to 500 gigabytes. So that's something we can swap out later if we need to.
Samsung Evo?
Yeah, Samsung 970 Evo 1 terabyte M.2.
In addition to
the hard drive.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you end up setting your computer up, you're going to load your operating system on this one. So when you hit the power button on your computer, it's going to go from being completely off to ready to go in like 3-4 seconds.
Right. So there's $80 difference between a 500 gig and 1 terabyte. All right. So I've got the Samsung 970 Evo 1 terabyte solid state, and I've got the Seagate Barracuda 2
Yep.
terabytes.
So right now we're at $702 basically. Next one is my favorite part to pick is the video card.
Hey.
So I think let's start with a 1070.
2070 for Super.
You want to go for the Super?
I want to go. I think graphics cards changed a lot. I want to be top tier right now.
Yeah.
Not top tier.
Not top tier, but like you know, above medium. So we can actually go. We can go down here and we can do 2070 Super and see what we have.
I think this is the initial one that you had put on here.
So there's the Nvidia one. Nvidia stock cards are usually known to run a little hot. I'm not entirely sure about the RTX series. So let's look for something a little bit more reasonable.
I think that's the one that we had on there, the Nvidia 900 before.
This one?
Yeah, 8 gigs of memory on the video card. Is that a lot?
Yeah, I'm running a 2060 and I have 6 gigabytes on mine.
Okay.
So that's $500. If you want another one, there's one for $539. Core clocks look to be about the same. Boost clock is just a little bit higher on this one. 1800 versus 1770, which isn't that big of a difference. This has good reviews though. I wouldn't think it would be a bad idea to put in there.
In the video.
Yeah. And I think that's another Best Buy purchase. All right, so that puts us at 1200 so far. Case, you had a case in mind you were telling me about?
No, I did. So it doesn't have to be that one, but if you case by Corsair, I believe it was.
Yeah, I think for you, as long as it's a ATX mid-tower case, mostly cases are just aesthetics with a little bit of how many fans can you stick in it.
Right. Okay. So, it was the Corsair Spec Omega RGB.
All right.
The white one.
So there's the white one.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them for some reason. I'll go with the higher one. White, black. Put that in there.
I think that's a beautiful case, personally.
Oh, white and black, it's combined. Look at that.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
You got RGB, so your computer's gonna run faster.
I think so. Yeah.
That's how it works.
If you put it on red, it runs the fastest.
If you put it on black and red, those are gamer colors. Then you'd be good.
What do you think of that case though? Because I read some reviews on it. They said the front clips for the front side of it were kind of like a flimsy plastic.
Oh, probably down here where you lift it up. Yeah, I have that on mine.
Exactly.
I have a
as long as you don't force it, there's no issues.
Yeah, I have a Corsair case. I think as long as you're, at least for mine, I have to pull from the bottom. I think as long as you're smart about it, you'll be okay.
Yeah, and that's, well, spending this much money, I will be very smart about it.
Yeah.
And the other complaint on this case was the room to work while building it.
Maybe a little bit. This case has one of those, they look cool. This bottom shelf down here that covers up your power supply. It just hides your power supply and it makes the case look really clean overall.
Okay.
It just gives you a little bit less wiggle room, but it should be okay. It looks like you got some good access ports to the back panel and all that.
Right. Yeah. As for, I don't see what came with fans on this product though, to see if we need to add any.
It looks like you get at least.
Looks like it gives one in the front.
Yeah, one in the front, one in the back. So you want to get 2 more.
Plus, we'll have the CPU cooler.
Yeah. In my case, I have 2 in the front, 1 in the back, plus a CPU cooler.
Okay. So I need a minimum 1 more fan, or minimum 1 more fan.
I think minimum 1 more fan, you'd be all right. Yeah. So I think we're good with that.
The 1400, brother. That is not good.
1352 on mine.
Yeah, same. I rounded up.
What's our limit here? 1600?
Yeah, I'd like to be 16. This computer's got to last me, you know. I'm looking to get something that's going to last me the next 10 years.
A thing that a lot of people end up cheaping out on is a power supply. Yeah. We're going to try to not do that.
And I want a really nice optical drive as well so I can burn CDs for my friends.
You want an optical drive?
No.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't know if your case would support that. All right.
We're looking for quiet too.
Yeah. So this is like this top one is probably like the best.
Yeah, I saw that Corsair.
You would get. It's $124. Fully modular, when it says if it's modular or not, refers to, see the back here, how it's got different cable ports?
Yep.
A non-modular one will already have the cables in there, so if you're using unused power sources, you're just gonna have extra cables lying around that you have to stuff in your back panel.
Gross.
So I think that's what I have actually, because I cheaped out on my power supply. I use what is that? Corsair CX.
Corsair CXM, 550 watt.
So mine's a Corsair CX 650. Let's see that on here.
I see the Corsair CX from 2017. CXM from 15.
Some of these don't even have prices up there. I don't know why. A lot of these power supplies don't seem to have links you can easily click on them.
How much wattage are these builds pulling? How much do you really need for coverage?
It's a mix between like how long the actual thing is going to last and how much your computer needs. I think for you, we'd want at least 600. Let's add this one in here and see where we're at. So we're at 1400.
Which one, the RM?
Yeah, the top RM one. And do you still need a monitor, you said? Let's see if it has the monitor I use that I would definitely recommend.
The monitor and the operating system. So I'll just throw the operating system on there. It's just going to be a Windows 10 Home 64.
You can pick up an operating system from another website for like $10-15.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, that's what that's what I did.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and back out of here.
Use something like Kinguin or CD keys or something like that is what I did.
I'll have you walk me through that in another video.
Okay. I don't know if I'm really allowed to talk about that here, but all right. So for your monitor resolution, you're gonna pay more for a higher resolution, and if you get a higher resolution, you're gonna have a lower frame rate essentially. So my computer is 1920 by 1080, 144 hertz.
That's standard resolution, right?
That's the standard resolution, and it's good. But even my computer can't run every game at 144 hertz at 1080p.
Right.
So if you wanted to play like at 1440p at 3440 by 1440 and get 144 hertz, you would maybe struggle to hit that threshold every time.
Gotcha.
So I think I would still recommend 1080 at 144. That way you'd basically be able to play more games at higher settings in there at the higher frame rate.
So what about this size, monitor size? I'm probably gonna want spread eagle legs coming out. It's got to be a circular round base at the bottom or a squared base or something like that.
Yeah, it just can't be one of those huge ones. We want to be at 144. My screen size is 27 inches for what I use.
Yeah, I don't think I probably won't want to go any smaller than that.
Yep, I think this one right here is what I use. Asus. Nope, that looks different than what I use. A different base.
24-inch too, isn't it?
This is what I have. I have the VG248Q. Oh, I'm lying. Here we are. I had the wrong screen size. 8QR. So 1920. Something seems a little bit higher frame rate. I can't remember what freaking.
VG278QR.
Can't remember what freaking monitor I'm using. Does it tell me? In my monitor.
Response time 0.5. Holy shit.
Oh, here we go. Asus VG278. There's plenty of those.
Yeah, there's a QR on here. It's $250.
Here we are.
165 hertz, 27 inches.
See, this one seems to be more expensive than when I bought it, though. That's the only problem. I think 27 hertz, 1920 by 1080, 165 hertz, 0.5 TN. Let's see if this has G-Sync compatible. That's actually a big deal.
Can you explain G-Sync to me?
You know, in games when you go in and there's like, do you want to turn V-Sync on or off?
Yeah.
And if you have it off, you get kind of screen tearing and it looks funny. So when you turn that on in game, it induces a little bit of input lag in the game. So you can either have screen tear and no input lag, or a little bit of input lag with no screen tear. G-Sync is something that runs in your computer panel's actual, I guess just a processor or something in there, that does the V-Sync for you. So you don't have to do it in game. So you have the benefit of no screen tearing plus no increased input lag.
Gotcha.
It's nice. It's been nice to have. I think we have to go to the Amazon or Best Buy site.
Are you just looking at the Q or the QR?
This one is the QR. It says FreeSync technology, but that works with AMD graphics cards, not NVIDIA. So you can actually go to NVIDIA's website, NVIDIA G-Sync compatible displays, and see if this one matches one of them. Let's see, Asus, G-Sync compatible, Asus. What's this one called we're looking at?
This is the VG278QR. That one right there, yep.
It says no. What does that no mean?
Not compatible.
HDR means no. Okay.
What's HDR? High definition resolution?
I don't think it's resolution. I think it's like radiance or something. It has to do with colors. HDR is related to colors.
Oh, black or blacks, blah blah blah.
Yeah. So this one is G-Sync compatible.
High dynamic range.
Yeah.
Letters stand out. What does it mean? Camera slightly different. Capture greater detail, bright and dark areas. Yep.
Yep. Okay, so this monitor is it's compatible with G-Sync. So you should have no issue there. And for $250 to get G-Sync, plus this is actually 165 hertz. I think that's a good deal.
Brought our total to 1726.
So that's when we're gonna start making some price cuts.
Because I still need fans too, don't I?
Yeah, you still need fans. So I think we'll go back and we'll take out the 1 terabyte SSD M.2.
Oh, that's right. So how do you take these out? Do you just hit storage again?
There's an X on the right side that you can hit.
Gotcha.
Yep. So let's go for the 500 gigabyte one. You have to take into account there's also gonna be taxes on all this.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Is your budget 1,600 before taxes?
You know how my budgets have been fluctuating.
They have been all over the place.
Yeah. Started at 1,000, went to 1,700, went down to 1,250. Now I'm getting a fucking monitor and a new chair, so it's gonna be like $2,300 all over.
All right, we're gonna add one case fan in.
Oops. Controller.
All right, so with the case fan, we're at $1,686.
Okay.
Would that add that case fan? Yeah, it's right there. And then like $10, $15 for your operating system.
Right.
If you want to save money, we could go for a lower power supply and maybe a case. But I know you really like that case, so I think we should do the power supply.
I like the case. I'm not set on it because I like your case too.
My case was pretty cheap.
Yeah, I think yours was 50 to 70 bucks or something.
Yeah, Victoria got me my case for my birthday last year, and it was cheaper than this. Where is Corsair?
Airflow, I think you had, right?
It's the Corsair Spec 06, if I remember right.
There it is, right there, Spec 06. Up,
yeah,
up.
Here we go. This one's 94. This looks a little bit different. I might have the Spec 05 then.
So it's 50 bucks extra to go to that case I want.
There's a white there's a white one if you really like the white aesthetic. Yeah, it's like a $50 difference. I don't see the one I use. I don't know if it's sell it anymore. Yeah, that's not what I use. Wait, what do you want to do? You want to keep your same case?
I think so.
Alright, let's go to the power supply then.
It's got sex appeal.
It's got the sex appeal.
I want to walk in and be in awe when I see it, you know?
Alright, we can go for a little bit lower power supply. This one looks Cooling Master for 99 bucks. 650 watts. Let's do that one. Actually, we'll try this EVGA one.
EVGA. Oh, the BQ?
Yeah, the BQ 600 watt. We're still good on compatibility. That puts you at 1,649. Other cuts would be just going for a regular RTX 2070.
Rather than the Super?
Rather than the Super.
Now, what's the Super get me?
It's just like an improved, revised version of the 2070. It'll just be a little bit faster. I think it's like maybe 10 more FPS per game at most.
Let's stack that down.
Because I think if the normal 2070 is 8 gigabytes, I think we should just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a normal 2070 is still 8 gigabytes. Which one? How much did the one cost that we have currently in there?
$499.
MSI Ventus is what my computer uses. I have an MSI Ventus 2060, and I've not had any problems with it.
What's this got? One HDMI, 3 display ports.
Yeah, you're gonna use DisplayPort to get your 144 hertz.
Okay. Now, can I? Let me see if my.
That brings you down to $1,534, and I think that's basically everything. You've got your CPU cooler, motherboard, RAM, your boot drive, your storage drive, graphics card, case, power supply, extra case fan, and then your monitor.
That's about everything. Then that Corsair RPG LED fan.
Maybe you look at a cheaper fan, but I don't think it would match the rest of your case fans. So
yeah,
you'd be kicking yourself in like 3 weeks when you have all these rainbow fans and then one's like just red or something. I don't know.
Semi-modular power supply.
So what do you think?
I think it looks good.
All right.
What am I missing? Am I missing anything?
No, you would just put the operating system, but I'll show you how to do that later.
Yeah.
Software, you don't need another case fan. You should be fine. Your monitor's set. And then you don't want a laptop.
Right. 122 plus.
And when you get your CPU, it should come with thermal paste in it, so you don't have to worry about buying any of that thermal compound. Yeah. Yeah,
any other like connecting wires or anything that does not come with these, or are they pretty much?
Nope, that should be about everything.
Plug and play, ready to go.
Unless I forget something, and then in a couple of weeks you're missing a cord.
Right.
And then the YouTube comments are tearing me apart again. Well, that wraps it up for this video. Kyle, are you pretty satisfied with what you picked out?
Very satisfied.
Or what we picked out?
Yes.
Awesome.
I appreciate the help of an expert, Scott.
That's me.
That is you, brother.
The expert. Oh, I've built 2 computers so far that haven't fallen apart yet, so.
That's what I'm looking for.
That counts for something.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Until next time. See you guys.
Thanks, Scott.